Hello, everybody. This is Tammy from the Universal Light Pure Love Ministries. That is a mouthful, so we've shortened it with an acronym. But it is good to be here. We had some technical difficulties on another platform, so we had to switch gears. And Aaron is not going to be able to jump on here. So he hopefully is seeing this and sharing it out with everybody. But we have a special guest tonight, and his name is Lakshay. Lakshay?
Yeah, Lakshay
right?
Gupta. Yeah, that's right.
Gupta. And I am terrible with pronouncing names, so please forgive me. And Aaron was going to interview you. I guess you guys have talked before and you've been friends for a while. And he was going to interview you about the Vedic Astrology. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. First of all, can you tell us how you got started in Vedic Astrology?
Yep, sure. So actually, my dad is an astrologer, and he has been practicing in India like for about 30 years now. So like when I was in school, he would, come back from office and tell us some stories about the various cases that he used to handle. And there used to be some fascinating stories about different people and how astrology influenced their lives. So that's what made me study it, and I just started just going through the books that he had in his room one day. So that's when he saw that I'm also inclined towards it, and I was building up the interest in the subject, and he got me to a formal training institute in India, wherein I did a certification course for 2 years.
Wow.
And and that's where I got all my degrees or like formal training done. And and then that was back in 2011, and since then I've been practicing and dealing with different kinds of cases. And yeah, that's about it.
How is Vedic astrology different than
Western system?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's very different because the Western system uses the tropical zodiac, and the Vedic system, it uses the sidereal zodiac. So we take into account the time of birth and the place of birth as well. However, the Western system is more about sun signs, and the Vedic system is more about the rising sign. So we go by the Western system goes by the seasons, and the equinox. However, it's different in the Vedic system, and we take into account the time of birth, place of birth, and date of birth, and then cast the horoscope for that individual. So it's more personalized because it takes into account this precision of the time of birth, and we have more remedial measures as well in the Vedic system. Like we can work out on things. It's not just about predictions. It's about problem solving as well. So we can.
Very good.
Yeah. So like people just don't come to us and ask, what I'm gonna do in 2 years or what's gonna happen in 5 years. They would come, hey, this is not working out for me. My current job doesn't pay me well, or I want to do a business, or maybe I've got an issue with my wife. So I need some help with all these things. Can you tell me what I can do about them? So it's more result oriented, more solution oriented. Yeah. So then we can check what's wrong, which energies are not aligned properly, and then we can work out on the solutions based on what planets are causing those issues.
Very
So that's the USP of Vedic astrology. Yeah, we have a lot of remedial measures, and we can work on solutions.
Now, what if somebody doesn't know their birth time or the time of birth?
Yeah,
still able to
happens.
help them in some way?
Yeah, so we have a technique called birth time rectification. So if someone is not sure about the time of birth, say He doesn't know if it's 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. Or 9 a.m. So if he just has an idea, if it's a 2-3 hour, if he's not sure about the exact time, then we can cast the chart throughout the day. Like we can cast a chart at 10 a.m., then maybe 11 a.m., then at 1 p.m. And
Yeah.
we can ask him some questions about the things that have happened in his life, and we can then figure out, okay, this is the chart which suits best with the kind of experiences that he has already had in his life. So we can work out on that way. In that way. So that's called birth time
Something for
rectification.
everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm so fascinated with this. I want to start studying it myself. Now, if someone like me that has no experience in astrology, where would they start?
Yeah, so we have a lot of books, even the online books. We have books like Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra. That's the Bible of astrology. So I think that's the first step that one should take if one is interested in astrology. It's called BPHS, which is Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra, and
Mm-hmm.
it's available online as well. So one can just start reading with the book, and that's the base. That's what sets the stepping stone. Yeah, for someone who needs to learn it, because that's by the Rishi Parashar, he was the Vedic sage. And yeah,
So this
so
is you we were talking a little bit before, and you were saying how this is like ongoing. You're always learning.
that's right.
So as the longer you study it and do it, um, there's not really an end to it. It just keeps unfolding based on the
Different
alignment.
experiences. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. So yeah, as we move on, we have, because every chart is different. Everyone
Hmm.
would have a different chart because everyone is born at a different time of birth, a different place of birth, and the environment is different. So because of all these factors and how you react to the energies, every chart would be different, and that's what makes it very interesting. So
Yeah.
everyone would have a different problem for that time, and different planets would be working on him, different stars would be working on him. And then we need to figure out, okay, and then we need to understand how the person would respond, because it's also about how well you can respond. It's your capacity, right? So we need to work that all out, and we see different type of cases. There is always a variety in the kind of cases that we see. Everyone
Hmm.
has a different problem and a different way to handle it. So that's what makes it interesting. It's a lot of variety. Yeah.
Most people come or think that astrology has to do with the future or finding out what's going to happen, down the road a
Yeah.
little ways. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting that you use it to help people break through old cycles and old patterns. Um, can
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
can you show in some kind of example or give some kind of story of somebody that you helped do that with?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So yeah, just as you mentioned, people still think that astrology is about fortune telling, and yeah, it's about predictions and just that what's gonna happen in the next 5 years, and yeah, well, where I'm gonna land up in the next 10 years. But it's not just that. It's of course predictions are important, but astrology tells you what has already been written. So which is the what we see on the horoscope is your destiny, which is based on the karmas of your previous life, the karmic theory. But what you're going to do now and how you take it from here onwards is something which is definitely going to be driven from your end. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so
Mm-hmm.
it has to be self-driven. So you have a lot of choice to make, a lot of choices to make, right? And that's what sets the base of Vedic astrology. That we tell people that based on what you have already created over the last few cycles of your birth, this is what you have, and now this is what you can do to make the best out of it. So you have X, you put in Y, and you make X plus Y.
So
So
is when you're dealing with handling or trying to help someone resolve issues, how do you come to know that they created it in a past life, or what did they do in that past life to create the problem that they're having now?
Exactly. So that's what we see in their horoscope. Like we know that, if a certain planet is not well placed, is not placed in the right house, then we know that this is the area where they need to work on more, you know. So these are the regions, these are the specific areas wherein they need to put on more effort to achieve results. And at some points, things will go very easy for them. So for someone, if the 10th house, that's the house for career. If the planets are very well placed in the 10th house and the 10th house lord is very well placed, then we know that this guy is not going to have much problem with career. He's going to have things settle down very easily. And but maybe he would have some issues in his personal life because therein the energies are not very good. So with the horoscope, we can get to know that which would be the challenge areas, which would be the areas which would cause struggle to the individual, and then we can guide him accordingly.
Yeah, have you ever done a horoscope for anybody famous like Donald Trump?
I've done some horoscopes for some celebrities in India. And some of my I've done for a few of them, but they have everyone has a different set of problems, as I told you. They have different set of questions. If you're famous, then you want to be more famous.
That's true.
So it's about how you deal with it and what you want out of your life. And so we need to judge a person's, how much a person wants to achieve. So that's something we need to figure out. And based on the persona of the individual, we tell them. So it has to. It has got a lot to do with the psychology. It has a lot of psychology which goes into it because everyone responds differently and reacts differently to the various energies acting upon the individual. So So because the environmental factors, the way the person is brought up, all these things they all matter a lot. So so we have had some interesting cases, like we have people who ask us questions like which area of which profession should I venture into, So we can see if we can see by the planets if the person is very creative, we can judge that. We can find out with how the Venus is placed in his charts. For example, Venus represents creativity, right? So if Venus is very well placed, if it's exalted, say in Pisces for someone, we would tell him to, go for the creative field. Don't go into the technical field because you're not going to do well in the technical field. But if you go for something like some performances, something creative like graphic designing or say singing, dancing, performing, so that's when you're going to really excel because your planets are in sync.
I like that. I'm going to have to come get a reading. And I know there's some questions coming in. If you guys have any questions that you would like for me to ask, just type them in the comment section. And there's a couple people that are saying that they would like a reading too. So hopefully they will be messaging you. I'll put contact information on here in the comments after we're done. Now, can you, I know it's very personal, but stepping out of personal, can you give I've seen some of the Western astrologers give a weekly reading.
Yeah, right.
Or a monthly reading. And I guess that's seasonal, pertaining to the seasons, like you were saying earlier. That's right. Do you touch on any of that, or do you just work one-on-one with individuals?
No, we do give general predictions as well, though it's more of a personalized reading. But we do have, because we have transits, we have planets transits, planets keep transiting from one zodiac to the other zodiac. So there are some predictions that we give out generally, for everyone, so that everyone knows, what they're gonna be influenced by and how they can work around it.
I
Like
see. That's
currently,
good information
yeah.
as well then.
Yeah, so like currently we have Mars, pairing up with Saturn in the zodiac Sagittarius. So yeah, so this transit is creating some issues, and it's people are really going crazy about it because Mars and Saturn, they don't get along. They're not the best of friends, you know. So Mars is like a bundle of energy. It's like the teenager who wants to do 1,000 things in a day, but Saturn says, "Calm down, calm down." It keeps controlling. It keeps controlling. It wants to take things in a certain discipline. So
Wow.
when
Now that makes so much sense about what we're seeing in the world right now. With I know you probably heard that the U.S. did a little damage over in Syria,
yeah,
and
Syria, right? That's
I
right.
think that is because
Exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Because Mars represents war. Mars is the significator for war, and Saturn is it shows boundaries. It shows control. It shows limitations. So that's why people are calling it Cold War. It's a combination of hot and cold. Mars is hot, Saturn is cold. They'll be always in conflict. They would never really, aid each other. They would want to come into each other's way because they don't have the same elements. Mars is fiery. It wants to, just go ahead and, grab things. Saturn likes to take it slowly. That's why it sticks to a zodiac. It transits once in 3 years. So it likes to control things. It likes to do them in a certain discipline. While Mars is like all out there, it just wants to achieve. It's like a bundle of energy. So that's why I have got some emails from people, telling me that we are not able to get the results. We are making efforts, but we are not getting results because that's the reason is that they are giving up too soon. Because if you're governed by Mars, then you're very impatient because Mars is passion, but it's also impatience. So, and then it makes you short-tempered. So, so you do an effort and you want the results right there. And but because Saturn is there to keep the control on, so you don't like people, you don't like it if if you don't get the results right there. So you're not ready to wait. So I tell them that it's a tough time. Yes, these 2 months from March till May, because Saturn is gonna be there, and and Mars with Saturn, it's gonna be creating a boundary and a limitation. So you just need to take it slowly and don't get frustrated. Keep doing your thing, and definitely results would come back. But you need to wait. You can't just rush. So that's the advice that I give everyone till May, till this combination is there in Sagittarius, especially for Sagittarians because it's in the first house of their chart. So they're the ones who are the most impacted.
Oh wait, you cut out a little bit. Can you say that again? Because I am a Sagittarius.
Yeah, so it's in the first house of your chart. So you're gonna feel like, okay, today I'm gonna do this 100 things, but the next day you're like, no, I don't want to do it, and maybe just so that's what it's always. It's never stable. The mental state is not stable.
Oh
Since
my
the last.
God. That is so right on.
Yeah, so the advice that we give to people is that just keep doing your hard work, keep putting on your effort, and the results will come through definitely if you just do them in a more systematic way. Like if you plan things properly and then do them, then you would get the positive out of Saturn, the positive out of Mars, and they would both help you achieve your goals.
Very good.
But if you get frustrated, if you get impatient, or if you just do things without proper planning, then that's when the both of the planets will create a conflict. So that's the advice, that go slow and go in a planned manner, go in a systematic manner, and then you're gonna get there.
I don't like to plan. I just go for it. Oh,
yeah, because you might have Mercury and Mars acting on you.
It does create a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
But this is amazing. Let's see. Somebody said it is true. We all have 2 signs ascending, or something like that. I guess she's asking a question. Is it true that we have 2 signs ascendant?
Yeah,
Or
you're right. So we have two signs. We have the sun sign, which is the zodiac in which the sun is placed at the time of our birth. And then we have an ascendant. Ascendant is the rising sign. So we have one sun sign, we have an ascendant, and these are two different signs usually.
that's
So
very interesting.
yeah,
I
so
can
sun
see
sign
why
is
you would want to get in this and just keep studying and keep going.
yeah, right. So with sun sign, what happens is that everyone born in the same month would have the same sun sign. You know, like say everyone born in the month of November would be a Scorpion, right? But different people born at different times in November would have different ascendants.
Ah, I
You
see.
understand? So ascendant is more precise because it drills down to your time of birth.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people that you should associate, that you usually associate yourself more with the ascendant than the sun sign,
Mm.
because ascendant is more precise. So you would have the qualities of ascendant more.
That's very interesting. And uh I like what you said about how you can still figure things out even if somebody doesn't have a time of birth, because
Yeah,
that
right.
hits home with me. I've been trying to find my time of birth for a couple of years, and
Oh,
there's no record of the time of birth. My instincts, my intuition want to say it was in the AM, but I have no proof. And there's a
oh,
lot of people like that, I guess. It depends on
yeah,
where
that's right.
you're at too, because some places don't even take records like that anymore. Keep records like that.
Yeah, especially with, like nowadays we have the hospitals keep the record, but when we, see charts of old people, like
Yes,
born in the 50s or maybe the 60s, then that's when they didn't record the time of birth. I'm sorry.
that would be me. I'm a '60s baby. Are you
Yeah, so
calling me old?
no, 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 no. You're very young. Yeah. So it's the same with my parents. Like they're born in the 60s, but they're not sure about their time of birth as well. So we have
Yeah,
another concept in Vedic astrology, which is called as the horary astrology, and it's even more interesting because like if you have no idea about your time of birth or even your date of birth, what you do is we make the chart at the time when the question is asked. So if you ask me the question right now, I'll make the chart at the current time of birth, the place of birth, at the current place from where you're asking the question, and the date on which the question is asked. And then I can check the current energies. So yeah, so that's another way of prediction in Vedic astrology. It's called the horary astrology or the question astrology because it's based on the time at which the question is asked.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I suppose you have to use a lot of intuition or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
even
right.
some psychic abilities with that, huh?
Yeah, that's right. We need to, and what's most important is the current position of planets, because you're asking me a question just now, so I need to check where the planets are placed currently. Which zodiac is Venus placed in? Which zodiac is Saturn placed in? And based on the type of question that you ask, I need to check the respective house and give you the results. For example, you ask me about financial gain. So I need to check the 11th house and which planets are occupying the 11th house in the current horoscope, and then I need to advise you accordingly. So that's how we go about it.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I'm definitely going to get me some books.
Oh, sure.
And so you recommend the Vedic versus the Western because it's
Western
more
system.
detailed and
Yeah.
provides much more information.
Yeah, and the best part is that it provides a lot of solutions. So it's not just predictions, it's
Yes.
more into problem solving. So that's the best part because people have a lot of problems and they come to you to seek a solution. So until something is solution oriented and we just do predictions, it doesn't make much of sense because we can't really predict that accurately about certain things because it's got more to do with the effort that you put in over the years. Right. So if someone asks me what I'm going to do 10 years down the line, I can, of course, tell him certain things, but my answer would not be 100% perfect because it's more about how he shapes up in these next 10 years, what efforts he puts in, right? So yeah, but if he asks me some questions for around the current issues that he's facing, I can check what's going wrong in his chart and what he's not doing correctly, and then advise him what he should do about it.
Yes, I like that. And I'm kind of I do what Aaron does. I'm a psychic and do readings and coaching, and I am seeing that so many people are coming with problems, and they want us to give them solutions.
Yeah.
And we work by our intuition and our gifts only.
Okay.
And
beautiful.
I can see how learning the alignment of the planets and studying what happens with the energy at certain times, it can give you more accurate.
Exactly, yeah. Because every time some of the planets are acting upon you, either through a planetary period or through the current transit. So some of the houses in your chart are getting activated, every time. So
Yes.
yeah, so that helps a lot in giving us the current picture of what's going around in a person's life and how he can make the best out of it. Like he
Yes.
should know the area in which he's gonna lack and how he can compensate, and work around it so that he can achieve what he really desires.
Wow. This is opening up a lot of questions and information. What do you see coming our way after May?
Yeah, after May, it's gonna be better because Mars is gonna leave Sagittarius. So Saturn is gonna be all alone, and be able to control things the way he likes them to be. And Mars is gonna fly to Capricorn. And yeah, so we have this link which is gonna break off, which is gonna put some respite, and people will be able to take control of things. So that's the good part. And we have another transit of Jupiter coming in October. So it'll be transiting in Scorpio, and Jupiter is more comfortable in Scorpio because Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and Jupiter and Mars get along very well. So it's gonna be better than how it is currently. Currently, Jupiter is in Libra, which is Venus sign, and Jupiter doesn't like Venus much because Jupiter is about knowledge, education, doing the right things. Venus is about love, music, dance, all the creative stuff. Jupiter says, no, let's study. And Venus says, no, let's sing. So yeah, so they are quite different. So Jupiter is not very comfortable in Libra, but it'll be better in Scorpio. So yeah, so that's gonna be better. That's gonna be in October. And we have, so these are the current affairs. And another thing that we recently had was Sun transiting to Aries. That happened just yesterday. So Sun moved to Aries from Pisces, and Sun is very comfortable in Aries. It gets exalted. When we say exalted, we say the most powerful. So Sun has become very powerful in Aries, and soon Moon is going to transit to Taurus. So when Sun and Moon are in Aries and Taurus respectively, then it creates a very good, a very auspicious time to kick off certain things in life. So we call it the Akshaya Tritiya. That's the name that we give it in India. And when Sun comes in Aries and Moon comes in Taurus, and it is known to be a very auspicious day. It's going to be the 18th of April, and that's going to be very auspicious because Sun, which is known as the king of all the planets, and the Moon, known as the queen of all the planets, will be the most powerful. Wow. So they'll be in the most powerful zodiacs. So the Sun, if the Sun and the Moon both are powerful, it means the self and the emotional side, the emotional side, the emotions and the mental plane, both will be very powerful. So you can start new things, start new ventures, and if you want to hit the gym, that's when you need to do it. If you want to start up a restaurant, that's when you need to do it. Start up anything new, take up a new course, or do start up whatever you have been planning to on that day. So that's considered one of the most auspicious days throughout the year.
So there'll be a lot of high energy.
High energy, that's right. And you'll be able to get the results, and if you put in effort on that day.
Nice.
So,
I
yeah,
like that.
right.
So that's in May?
That's just 3 days later, which is 18th of April.
April
That's, yeah,
18th.
right.
Yeah. Okay, so we're coming up on that this week.
Yeah, so this week it's gonna be the same conflict that I talked about, Mars Saturn. That's gonna create some problems like it has been creating. So just don't be short-tempered. Keep your calm. Be okay with things. Things will take time, but you'll eventually get there.
Yes.
You just plan out the things properly and give it your best shot, and you're gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So I hope that good things are coming.
Yeah, yeah,
Many
definitely,
good things
definitely.
this
Yeah.
year. How are we going to finish out the year, do you think?
Yeah, by the end of the year, since we'll have, Mars, of course, leaving Saturn and Jupiter in a more friendly sign, things would be better than how they are currently. The all the issues that we are seeing, the social, economical issues, and the political issues that we are dealing with currently, they're going to tone down by the end of the year, and we'll see a more stable end to the year with a lot of positivity coming in because the planets would occupy the zodiacs in which they're more comfortable, rather than occupying the enemy zodiacs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they'll go to the houses where they are pampered.
Good.
Yeah, so they'll give out the right results. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's very good. That's soothing to know, especially right now with things being all fired up
I
and
know.
heated in the world, to know
Yeah,
that things are going to calm down and
calm
get better
down.
by the
Yeah.
end of the year, and especially around the 18th of
Yeah,
April.
that's right. After the
Kick
18th
off.
April, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
one.
especially after May, yeah,
Uh-huh.
because that's when Saturn was gonna leave Mars. Sorry, Mars is gonna leave Saturn, and so it'll be more better. Like it'll be better after May.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't know if I have any more questions. If you guys have a question, please post it in the comments. Let's
So we
see.
got 45 comments.
Can you see the comments?
Yeah, yeah. We have
Great.
a comment by Katie, and she says she's feeling drawn to go inward and find answers. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I want to find answers too, and I want to make sure that I'm making the right choices. And
I'm sure you do.
getting a reading like this, when you do a reading for someone on an individual basis, do you do like an annual reading or monthly
No,
or?
it's not usually an annual reading. Again, as I told you, it's more about the problem solving. So people come to me with questions like, I want to go abroad, but things are not working out. Like that's one general question that I get. I'm trying, my PR is not getting approved, or something like that. Then I check how the planets are placed in the houses, and whether this person has a chance to go or settle abroad or in a country where he's not born. You know or if people have some questions related to their career, their health, we check the respect. So it's more related to the problem. It's about the problem that the person is. So people send me their queries along with their birth details, and then I check out what planets are responsible for those problems, and then we give out the solutions. So it's
Yes.
more solution oriented. I don't really give out readings as such, but if someone asks me like for an yearly reading, then we can do that definitely.
Yes. Okay. Well, I will definitely put your information in the comments, and I'm sure you're going to have a bunch of messages in your inbox.
And that'd be great. Yeah.
Yes. So, is this something that you do just part time, or do you do this all full time, or?
I don't do it full time. I'm a software engineer, so that's the first thing that I do. I'm into IT. So, but yeah, but this is like something which always goes along. Like I come back from work, I have a set of emails to reply to. So I spend like 1 hour, 2 hours sometimes,
Yes.
replying to the emails. Especially over the weekends, it takes the entire day to reply to people's emails. So yeah, but it's quite interesting because I really like helping people, and trying to help them solve their problems. It's
Yes.
actually not I who solve the problem. They solve their own problems, but we just guide them so that they know, what they are capable of. So
Mhm.
usually people don't know, what they can achieve and how far
Right.
they can go. Yeah, so we
Right.
just help them in the self-discovery. So that's what we do. And
That's very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's very good. Have you seen an increase in the amount of people that are coming? Because I have.
Yeah, I can see a lot of comments here, and I'm glad that a lot of people are liking the show.
Yes, yes, a lot of people are liking it, and we're going to definitely do this again
Oh,
and
sure.
have Aaron on.
Oh, that'll be beautiful.
You gave me a lot to think about, and now an interest in really digging in, um, so that we don't have to, just depend on
Intuition. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, right. I think intuition, it goes along with astrology. Like if we have astrology and intuition together, we can, get a lot of precise results, a lot of good results. So
mm,
yeah. And intuition is something which comes with experience. It doesn't just come by reading books. So I'm
yes.
sure, yeah, it comes with a lot of practice that you start guessing the energies. Someone enters the room and you can, get the aura. So I understand that, yeah, and that's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Well, I have really enjoyed talking with you. I don't even know what else to ask. This has been so awesome and so amazing. And
Yeah.
let's see, there's already somebody wanting to PM you.
Oh, it's Kathy Graves. Oh, he's given me his
Okay, so
details.
I'm sorry.
I just got some details, birth details from a lot of people. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like Norma or Aaron, somebody put your information in there,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Good, good, good. That's awesome. Let's see. Lee, hi Lee. Do you find that certain signs will be looking at big leaps forward in the near future?
Yeah, yeah, we have some, as I told, we have some great transits happening. We have a transit happening of Jupiter in October, and yeah, and it's gonna move to Scorpio from Libra. So it's gonna move to its friend's house. So Jupiter is fond of Mars, so it's gonna go to Mars house and relax there for some time because it has been struggling in Libra with a lot of creative energy, which and a lot of entertainment, which it doesn't really like. So yeah, so that's one thing. And yeah, and then we have a transit of Rahu, which is the north node coming up next year. Rahu Ketu, we don't have a lot of transits coming this year other than the usual Mercury Venus that happens every month. But Saturn is not going to change the sign. Rahu Ketu are not going to change the sign this year. It's going to be majorly Jupiter, is going to transit.
Mm-hmm. That's really nice. And when I'm not yet putting together how you keep track of all the months, birth signs, and then how they tie into the planet. But I
Yeah.
guess I'll get the hang of it when I read a book.
Oh, we can do a session where I can teach it. I mean, I don't mind sharing my knowledge. That's perfectly fine. We can go from the introduction, the basics of astrology. So yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, if
Oh
people are eager
yeah,
to learn.
yes, yes, that would be good. That would be very interesting to have
Yeah,
a show like that, a
yeah, we can
teaching
go step
show.
by step. Yeah, we can talk about planets, talk about zodiac signs, and then move how planets are, linked with the zodiacs and which planet is ruled by which zodiac and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea a lot.
It's gonna be
Let's,
my pleasure entirely. Yeah.
is there any more questions, guys? That was a good question. Barb said we need some peace. We need more peace. Yes, we do.
Yeah, it's gonna come our way very soon.
Yep. Let's see.
I'm starting.
Very good. Okay.
We have a question. Besides reading, do you plan teaching? Oh, that's what just we talked about. Yeah, I don't mind
Yes,
teaching.
yes, yes. So we'll have to organize. We'll get with Aaron and maybe organize a teaching session. However long you would want to do it. cover the basics or whatever. And heck, I wouldn't even mind paying a little bit towards your time for that, because it's good information and it's things that we need to know.
Yeah,
and if it's going to help us solve our problems,
right.
Yes, if it's going to help us figure out how to make changes that is going to better us and the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can work that out. No problem.
Yeah, that sounds great. So let me see. I don't see any more questions. We'll continue to share this out as well. And the next time, Aaron and Norma will definitely be on.
Oh, great.
So I don't, you should not have said you were into IT. Now we know who to call.
No problem. I'm gonna be there definitely.
Yeah, that's amazing. You are very sweet. I've had a blast talking with you.
It has been my pleasure entirely. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we'll do it again soon. And you guys, message, and get your readings, and make sure you bless. Okay, make sure you bless and take care of the servant. So let's see. Somebody's asking for a reading. The contact information is in the comments. And I'm sure that I don't know how you work. You set prices or how you get paid from this, but I'm sure when you send a message, he will explain all that to you.
Yeah, you can just drop me a message on my Facebook, or you can email me. And my Facebook is Astro Lakshay. That's the name of my Facebook handle. And and then we can take it from there.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me through our technical difficulties.
That's all right. That's all right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, Norma and Aaron send their love. I know they do. They send their love. And we will talk to you again very soon.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be great. Yeah. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.